itakuwa ni mara yake ya pili kusimama katika kipindi cha siku hizi 10 na kitu, siku hizi 10 tu hizi. Ndani ya siku 10 hizi, hii ni ndani ya siku 20 hizi ni mara yake ya pili kusimama. Mara ya kwanza alisimama tarehe 4 ya mwezi uliopita, yani zaidi ya siku 20 na kitu hivi, na rejea tena katika bunge hili kuja kuomba kitu kile, na sasa wabunge ndio watakaoamua kama yeye ndiye aende ama wenzake ndio waende. Ezekia Wenje ndiye zamu yake hivi sasa, na atajieleza kwa wabunge kwa dakika 3 kisha kupokea maswali.
Ezekiel Wenje, you're welcome. In front of you, beside you, behind you are members of parliament who are waiting eagerly for you to identify yourself and explain why you're here. After that exercise of 3 minutes, if there are some questions, you'll be asked to answer them, not more than 3. And later on, you'll have to leave. You have to leave us for the rest of the activities. The floor is now yours, please. You have 3 minutes to explain.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you, the Honorable Prime Minister. Thank you, the Leader of Opposition, Honorable Freeman Boy, ministers present, and the honorable members of this House. My names are Ezekia Dibogo Wenje. Here I am again today before you to seek your votes to enable me represent our great nation in the East African Parliament. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is an election. It's very emotional, but I want to tell you, it is just a day's event. It will end today, and will be the same people tomorrow in the same country. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand here today with a strong conviction that East Africa and its people are one. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have a common shared history and a common destiny as people of East Africa. Both of you are aware that long time ago, before the Berlin Conference, which divided East Africa into what it is today, East African people were one. We were only separated by rivers and valleys and beautiful mountains, which our people could easily cross in search of pastures and food without being subjected into the colonial passports and visas. Mr. Speaker, we are one. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, the founders of these great nations had this truth at heart. And that is why, immediately, few years after independence, they started beating drums loud, the drums of integration, because they had this truth at heart. Mr. Speaker, the seeds that they sow of integration is the new East African community that we have today. We are here before this House, both of us, to participate in this history, to rewrite this history today, to water the seeds of integration that these great men sow those years back. Mr. Speaker, I stand here today as a proud son of Africa. The writings are on the wall right now. Nobody can dispute the fact that we need to take strong men and women with strong character into the East African Parliament to go and defend our country and our sovereignty. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Any questions to the candidate? Three questions already. We start from there, and then there we'll finish up here. You're welcome, honorable member.
Honorable Wenje, the United Nations agreement on the application of sanitary and phytosanitary standards demands equality among nations in its enforcement. Now, and this agreement is important to the EAC treaty and its subsequent protocols.
Mr. Speaker,
Now,
I don't get him properly. Can you come again? I can't hear properly.
Let me make it close here. The United Nations agreement on the sanitary and phytosanitary standards demands equality on its application.
Sanitary standards? What?
Sanitary and phytosanitary standards.
Sanitary?
Yes. You understand now? Okay. Demands equality in its enforcement. Now, as an LMP, this agreement, which is appurtenant to the EAC treaty and its protocols, how are you going to stand to make sure that our products like meat and fish get through to the market without getting hard to these measures?
Can you respond to that question, please?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. If you read the East African protocols, like Chapter 5, and if you read the protocol about the customs union, that includes the so-called rules of origin. You can, the best thing that our country can actually benefit from the regional products that we have, like fish, as he has like said, is to make good use of the so-called rules of origin, which is in the customs union's treaty. And you see, we cannot as a country, for our products to be competitive, we cannot compromise, the sanitary standards set internationally. So no matter what, we just have to encourage the manufacturers or producers of our products, to put them to that good standard so that to be competitive. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
His second question, Honorable Maige.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, Speaker. I have the following question to the candidate. You know that there's an imbalance of labor force among the East African member states. What do you understand by the term free labor movement protocol in the East African member states? Thank you.
Free labor movement, can you explain?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. There has been this notion that our people in our country are not getting jobs in other countries across the region simply because some people think we are not competent enough. And that is why our people still feel that, if you go back to the, economic protocol, one of the things that they talk about is free movement of persons and free movement of labor. Our people still have reservation and feel that if we allow free movement of people, then our people, free movement of labor, then our people will not get jobs elsewhere, and some people from Kenya, from Uganda, from Rwanda will come in and take our jobs. This is not correct. I believe we have strong and competent manpower in this country. We have the same universities as like Nairobi, we have the same universities as like Kampala, we have the same universities as like Rwanda University. We have competent young men and women in this country who can fight for the jobs not only in Tanzania and even across, even in Uganda we can go. We have competent people here. And I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, many members of parliament here, we have very competent members of parliament here. They have gone through the same universities, which I've also gone through. And I believe if you are put on the same table with Kenyans, Ugandans, we can prove them wrong. That's why some of us, we believe we are competent. Take us there. We go and prove to them that we have strong men and women in this country.
Thank you very much.
We can defend our sovereignty. We can defend our integrity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The last question from this side.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to ask the question contestant right here. Mr. Wenje, you just seems to be a worshipper of commonalities in East Africa. And you are talking about
Worship of what?
commonalities.
Commonalities.
Yes. commonalities in East Africa. You're talking about the same in this integration, just you want the people to integrate it equally within East African regional integration. So my question is, so long as you have started to talk about the former East African integration that was declined in 1977, if I'm not mistaken, and there were some kind of problems that made to decline that kind of integration.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Wenge,
just can you wait a little bit?
Thank you.
Member, can you listen a little bit before you proceed? What you are doing is you are addressing the candidate.
Yes.
Can you put forward a question straightforward? No organization.
Okay,
put the question forward, you are answered, it's over.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My question is, how are you going to assure us that if we are just going to elect you as a member of parliament in Iela, that you are going to defend Tanzanian interest in East African community?
Can you respond to that question?
Mr. Speaker, sir, if I heard him correctly, it's like he is doubting my ability to go and represent our country. Mr. Speaker, sir, and you also talked about commonality. I am a strong believer that Africa and its people are one, and in East Africa in particular. And that is why, if you go across border, you will find some Maasais in Tanzania and some are in Kenya. You will find Luos like me here. Some are in Shirati, some are in Kenya. You will find Kurias. Some are in Tanzania, some are in Kenya. You will find the Kondes. Some are there, some are in Zambia. We are one people. What divides us is only colonial boundaries. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am a son of this land. This is the land of my ancestors. This is the land of my forefathers. I can defend the sovereignty of our country at any cost across our borders. Give me opportunity to fly high the flag of our country, and I will do it without any doubt. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you, candidate. I'm now giving you 2 minutes to wind up your speech and ask for votes once more. After that, I'll ask you to leave.
Mr. Speaker, sir, Honorable Prime Minister, members of Parliament here, as I said earlier, this is an election, it's just an day's event. We'll be the same people tomorrow in the same country. You will be the same members of Parliament tomorrow in the same Parliament. The writings are on the wall. Let us arise all together to do justice to our country by sending competent and strong people who can defend the sovereignty of this country. And I believe I am such one character who can go and work for our country. I ask you to support me and I request your votes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And now you are free to leave.
Na mtazamaji wa Bunge TV, huyo ni Ezekia Dibogo Wenje, kipeana mkono na waziri mkuu, peana mkono na chief whip pale, na anakwenda upande wa pili kumpa mkono kiongozi wa kambi rasmi ya upinzani bungeni na waheshimiwa wabunge wengine, kisha anajongea kutoa nafasi ya mgombea mwingine kuingia ndani ya ukumbi na kueleza sera zake, kisha kuulizwa maswali kama ada ya uchaguzi huu. Lakini kubwa kati ya wagombea hawa walio timu 6, wagombea hawa 6 ni wawili tu ambao watatakiwa kura zao zikitosha, basi wao ndio wanaohitajika kutimiza idadi ya wale wagombea 9. Naam. Na sasa anaitwa mgombea mwingine. Huyu ni Josephine Sebastian Lemoyan. Ni mwanamama huyu, mwanamama wa kwanza katika kundi hili la wagombea 6, ndiye aliyeitwa ni Josephine Sebastian Lemoyan, na ndivyo anavyo tembea kwa madaha kabisa kuelekea katika ukumbi wa kujieleza mbele ya wabunge. ili wabunge hapo baadaye waje waamue nani ni nani na yupi ni yupi ambaye wao wataona anafaa kutuwakilisha Watanzania katika bunge la Jumuiya ya Afrika ya Mashariki. Naam, na tumsikilize.
In front of you, members of parliament, in a few minutes I'll be asking you to speak to them, introduce yourself, and explain your mission here. Later on, there might be some questions, up to 3, of which we'll ask you to answer them. And later on, you'll have to leave. I'm now giving you the 3 minutes. The floor is yours. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, Speaker of the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, Your Honor, the Prime Minister of the United Republic of Tanzania. I recognize the presence of the Leader of Opposition in the House, honorable members of the Parliament, members of the media houses. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Josephine Sebastian Lemoyan. I'm standing before you with deep, heartfelt sympathy towards the calamities and the demise of our children following the accident that has occurred a few days ago in Karatu. Let me offer my heartfelt, deep sympathy to you, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, sir, as well as the parents, friends, relatives, and the family of Tanzania as a country. My credentials has been presented, but I would like to go back to them just to set the record right. I'm a woman, a mother, a daughter of Tanzania, holding a master's degree in sociology and Master of Science in Applied Social Research. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm coming before this august House of the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, requesting very humbly that I'm sent on a mission to go and represent Tanzania in East African Legislative Assembly, whereby I'm going to join fellow colleagues whom you have elected a few days ago. My mission, and why am I interested to go to EALA, is because I read the Strategic Plan for East Africa Community 2050, which has a number of issues which I think I can contribute to. My background is in social sciences, and I think I can make a contribution using experience, expertise.
Can you wind up your speech now? Wind up.
Expertise and my knowledge. And I think I can make that contribution because I have done well, and I have done so much, not only because I have the education, but the experience in working with the government for more than 30 years, whereby issues of policy analysis, research were done.
Thank you very much. 3 questions, if any. 3 questions, if any. I've seen 3 candidates now. We'll start from that end and then come from that middle position, then the last question will come from here. The man behind in black, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You proceed.
Yeah, my name is Mbogo. I would like to ask the madam, you have said that you have good experience and knowledge, but we know we have 4 pillars in the East Africa community. Now, can you tell us what what challenges do we have on the current periods we have adapted? And if we elect you as a ERA member, how are we going to address these challenges?
I could not hear you.
Did you hear his questions?
Not quite really. I didn't hear the question.
Speak closer. Put closer that microphone or use the neighboring one.
All right, I can just go back again. You have said that you have good experience and knowledge on various matters, and you have gone well on the East Africa communities as our regional integration in East Africa. There are almost 4 pillars, and 2 already adapted. But we have challenges. Now, can you tell us how are you going to address these challenges we have, and how are you going to attack the remaining 2 pillars which are not yet adapted by the East Africa community?
He means adopted. Can you answer?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much for your question. Yes, indeed. There are 4 pillars of integration for our East Africa community. And the first one is the custom union, which paves the way towards common market. And the third one is the monetary unification. And lastly, it's about the political federation. Now, there are quite a number of challenges across the 4 pillars. And insofar as the second pillar is concerned, and the first one as well, there are quite a number of non-tariff barriers as well as tariff barriers that have not been addressed. The recent report on East African Community annual performance indicates that 104 non-tariff barriers have been actually addressed, and 16 of them, or 20, between 16 and 20, are not yet addressed, and new ones are emerging.
Thank you very much.
How am I going?
Thank you, member. Thank you, candidate.
How am I going to?
Umbula, I saw you.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The land scarcity in other East African countries may force the citizens of other East African countries to forge in the strategies of intermarriage so that to attain a land ownership from Tanzania. Now, as a woman MP in Yala, how are you, in case of such a behavior, how are you going to discourage it?
Can you respond to that question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you very much for your question. I think you were talking about the land issues and the land grabbing. And if that is the question, as a woman MP, what am I going to do in order to address the question of land grabbing in our country? First of all, I have been working for quite some time on land issues and women participation in land issues. And just recently, on the 8th of March 2017, a new act on gender and non-discrimination act has been passed. I'm going to facilitate and contribute towards making that legislation known to the women, as well as making it popular so that women understand what they have to do insofar as land issues are concerned. Thank you.
The third question, no clapping, please. Sada.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Ms. Josephine, if I'm not mistaken, one of your researches during your educational background was about drug abuse among the young generation, particularly in Tanzania. As a woman, as a mother,
la Dodoma asili na upate warranty ya miaka 2 mpaka 5.
Kumbuka, magodoro pekee yanayozalishwa Dodoma
East African countries and as well as a region. Thank you.
Can you respond to that question, candidate?
Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much Madam Sada for the question. Yes, indeed. Child abuse is a critical issue, and in a young bloc like the East African community, we have more than 33% of its population as children. My take is going to be working together with a team of Tanzanians as well as other country MPs to ensure that we legislate on issues of child abuse, taking on board lessons that we have learned from Tanzania so that we make our country proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you, candidates. No clapping. I'm now giving you 2 minutes to wind up your presentation and once more ask for votes before you leave. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honorable members of the Parliament, Josephine comes forward to you pleading that you send me to become a servant in EALA, holding hands together with other colleagues whom you have elected just a few weeks ago. I'm a humble woman. I'm very much willing to run when I'm told to run. I can walk from here to Juba if that is necessary. And I'm going to make sure that I hold my country dear in my heart and work together as a team with others. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Speaker, sir, Honorable Members of Parliament, I beg for your vote.
Thank you very much. No. No clapping, no clapping. Thank you, Josephine. Now I ask you to leave and wish you all the best. Please.
Na mtazamaji wa Bunge TV, hivyo ndivyo Josephine Sebastian Lemoyan anavyomaliza kujinadi mbele ya wabunge na anaondoka kupisha mwingine aingie. Anayetarajiwa kuwasili katika ukumbi huu punde ni Lawrence Kegomasha. Lawrence Kegomasha naye ni kama ilivyokuwa kwa Ezekia Dibogo Wenje, yeye pia ana ndani ya siku 36 anawasili mara ya pili katika ukumbi huu akiomba kura kwa ajili ya ruhusa ya kuwa miongoni mwa wale wa Tanzania 9 watakaoiwakilisha Tanzania katika bunge la Afrika ya Mashariki. Anaitwa Lawrence Kegomasha, ndiye anayewasili hivi sasa ukumbini kwa ajili ya kuja kunadi sera zake, kuomba kura za waheshimiwa wabunge wa Bunge la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania ambao kwa niaba ya Watanzania wote ndio wanaopiga kura kuchagua wabunge wa Bunge la Afrika ya Mashariki.
Members of this August House, you will be given time 3 minutes to identify yourself and then explain your mission, why you're here, and later on, if there are any questions, not more than 3, you'll be asked to answer them. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Ministers, Members of Parliament. My name is Lawrence Kegomasha. I'm an aspirant for the office of being a member of the East African Legislative Assembly. However, Honorable Speaker, through you, I'd like to take this opportunity to give my heartfelt condolences to the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, the people of Tanzania, and in particular the people of Arusha, and most importantly, to the families who lost their beloved ones in that fateful vehicular accident that took place in Karatu the other day. May the Lord rest the souls of the departed in everlasting peace. Mr. Speaker, 3 to 4 weeks ago, I stood in this August hall to request your votes to become a member of the East African Legislative Assembly. Unfortunately, the votes were insufficient, and hence I stand before you once again. My CV has been circulated. My record is well known. So I will take 1 or 2 minutes simply to give you additional insight as into who I am and my character. Mr. Speaker, in 1960, my father left Sengerema for the United States. He was inspired by John F. Kennedy, who in his inaugural address said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country." It is a sentiment my father lives by. It's a sentiment he has embedded in his children. My father came back to this nation, served as a member of parliament. I was fortunate enough to serve in the fourth phase government, an opportunity for which I'm eternally grateful. And my younger brother is a colonel in the Tanzanian army, ready and willing to die for this country as and when required. I'm standing before you to ask you to serve my nation once again. I am a patriotic Tanzanian. I would like to use the skills which I have to serve the nation I love. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Ministers and Members of Parliament, may I kindly have your votes.
Questions, if any? Hapa CUF Kiingereza tatizo? Kasioni maswali? Naona maswali CCM tu inaelekea. Leo ndio tutajuana hapa leo. Haya, tuanze dada pale kwanza. Mheshimiwa, alafu tutakuja mitaa hiyo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me a chance to ask the candidate a question. Mr. Marshall, you know that South Sudan is one of the countries that joined East Africa community very recently. But we all know that they are still in war and lots of human rights abuses in South Sudan. What is your take on this? Do you think it was a bit premature to invite it in the treaty? Thank you.
Your opinion is sought, candidate. Can you respond to that?
Yes, Honorable Speaker. One, it must be understood that there were strategic reasons in letting South Sudan become a member of the East African community. Part of the very issues you've just raised are some of the very reasons South Sudan was allowed to come in, so they could be closely monitored, so that we can actively take part in ensuring that there's peace in South Sudan, ensuring that they would not be able to disrupt neighbors within the region. I am sure, although that there are problems in South Sudan, you're aware that there are problems in Burundi as well, and there are potentially problems in some of the other states. These are not reasons for exclusion. What we must do is ensure that, one, we work with our governments to ensure as best as possible we can facilitate peace in South Sudan as we have tried in the past.
The two gentlemen. Did you say CUF? Okay, CUF.
Thank you, Mr.
Ali Saleh, yes.
My name is not CUF, my name is Ali Saleh. Secondly, I thank you for seeing me after fourth try to get you to notice me. My question is, the Eastern community is heading towards political federation. And this is after other steps are completed. First, what is your take on this? But secondly, how best do you think Tanzania can protect her interest if this happens, if the political federation comes into being?
Before you respond, I want to assure Ali Saleh, it's not the first time that I saw you. I saw you the first time in late 80s when we were together at the University of Dar es Salaam. While you were leading all the boycotts there and we were some of the followers. Candidate, can you answer?
Honorable Speaker, the question which has been put forth by my colleague counsel Ali Saleh is a very delicate question. And quite honestly, I'm not sure under normal circumstances, had I been the Minister for Home Affairs, for example, in this body, whether I would be willing to answer within an open session my thoughts with regard to political federation. It's a very delicate situation. The political situation of the 6 countries which we're dealing with is all very different. The levels of democracy differ. And if we go into political federation without naming each country piece by piece, we may actually suffer some problems. I would actually, if I was elected into the East African Legislative Assembly, I would work very closely with our Department of Foreign Affairs to determine how best this should be handled. Because I think it is a matter of state security, and it's a matter which should be handled very carefully.
The second question, Honorable Kakunda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Masha, you know that Tanzania is an LDC. It's the least developed country, Tanzania. And we are struggling to industrialize.
Okay.
But Kenya is a non-LDC country, and it has about tens of thousands of industries now. Now, if we treat equally the place of origin and rule of origin principles of the common market, how are you going to ensure that our products get same treatment in the market without getting some difficulties in the market niche?
Can you now respond, candidate?
Yes, I can. If I can respond to the Honourable Member of Parliament as follows. First and foremost, we've seen, for example, when it came to the customs union, our ministers worked very carefully with their colleagues around the 5 states at the time in order to ensure that we protected those items in terms of tariffs that we needed to protect prior to entering our budgetary phases. It is absolutely necessary within the stage of the common market that a variety of things be protected. If you take into account that the common market is an agreement of free movement of goods, services, and people, all of these things we must sit back and figure out at what level we are at, both economically, in terms of our serviceability, and look at the protection people within the region in order to determine what we allow to partake at certain times. As I've said previously, when you're a member of the East African Legislative Assembly, you're not going there to represent your personal ideas. You're going there to represent your nation. The 9 people who will be chosen to go to the East African Legislative Assembly must work hand in hand with their government in order to be mouthpieces for their government in the Legislative Assembly. I'm not going to the Legislative Assembly to speak on my behalf.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Zito Kabwe, the last question.
Bonus question.
La kwanza aliuliza nani?
Thank you very much. Tuendelee tu Speaker.
Salome aliuliza.
Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much for a bonus question to
Mheshimiwa Zito, inatosha. Nimeambiwa kumbe swali la 4. I'm sorry. Candidate, I'm now giving you 2 minutes to wind up your speech and ask for votes once more.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, my request to the members of Parliament here today is that they take full cognizance of the fact that the East African Legislative Assembly is not a partisan parliament. The East African Legislative Assembly is a regional parliament where we're supposed to send our best. We shouldn't make decisions based on political party lines. We shouldn't make decisions where we take people who we also understand are not the best. My humble request to you, CHADEMA has brought you 6 candidates who I believe are all good. My request is you sit back and look who can best protect the interests of this country across our borders to ensure that Tanzania is a stable country, is a peaceful country, and is a secure country. I believe I have the experience to do so, and I humbly request, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition, Ministers and Members of Parliament, please make the right choice. Thank you. Can I have your votes?
Thank you very much. I now ask you to leave. Thank you.
Na mtazamaji wa Bunge TV, hivyo ndivyo ambavyo Lawrence Kego Masha anavyohitimisha kunadi sera zake, kuomba kura kwa waheshimiwa wabunge wa bunge hili tukufu la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania ili waweze kumpa ruhusa kuwa miongoni mwa wabunge 9 kutoka Tanzania watakao kuwa wanawakilisha nchi kwenye bunge la Afrika ya Mashariki. Na mara baada ya Lawrence Masha, anayetarajiwa hivi sasa si mwingine bali ni Pamela Simon Masai. Pamela Simon Masai ndiye ambaye anawasili ukumbini, naye kunadi sera zake akiwa ni mgombea kijana kuliko wote waliowasili kuomba kura katika bunge hili. Na mara baada ya kuwasili basi, naye hebu shuhudia kile atakachokuwa kikinadi kwa waheshimiwa wabunge.
Before you, the members of this august house, you will be given 3 minutes to introduce yourself and tell us why you are here. Later on, there might be some questions, up to 3, of which you will be asked to answer. You now have the time to address the House. Please proceed.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Leader of Opposition, Honorable Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, I salute you. First of all, I would like to send my condolences to all Tanzanian parents, friends who lost their children, the teachers and the driver to the accident which happened last week. May your soul rest in peace. In front of you, I'm Pamela Masai, a Tanzanian lady, energetic one, holding a Bachelor of Food and Biochemical Engineering, and currently I'm pursuing my Master's in Public Health. Also, I'm working with Coca-Cola Kwanza as a business system coordinator who is ensuring the compliances of the products and services which are being implemented in the company, and ensuring all Tanzanians are getting the products which are of high quality and safety one. I'm also an expert in the risk assessment, hazard analysis. I'm conducting the lead auditing on the issues of the systems, meaning the International Standards Organization systems. So, as an expert, I'm a member of technical committee under Tanzania Bureau of Standards, who we are reviewing the East African standards, ensuring that all member countries from East Africa are producing products and services of high quality, products which can be sold inside the member countries and the outside.
Thank you, Pamela. The 3 minutes are over. I hope you heard the bell. Now it's time for the questions. The first question will go to Honorable Zito Kabwe, and then I'll announce the other ones later on. Honorable Zito.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you, Pamela, for your presentation. The previous Parliament had different challenges. The first one developed the customs union, the second one developed the monetary union, the common market. And the EALA that we are contesting for is going to approve a monetary union, where we are going to have one central bank, we are going to have one currency, and we are going to integrate our whole economy. Tanzanians' interests in the monetary union is to protect the capital flows within the community, but also to protect the labor movement. As our representative there, what are you going to do to ensure that the interests of Tanzania, as far as the monetary union is concerned, are highly protected? Regarding that, Rwanda has sent highly qualified people there. Burundi has sent its former ministers there. Uganda has sent its former ministers there. Kenya is going to send highly qualified there. What are you going to do as a member from Tanzania to protect the interests of Tanzania as far as monetary union is concerned?
Okay. Thank you, Honorable
Candidate Pamela, you don't speak in this house before you are allowed. It's time now to answer the question. Can you respond, please?
Thank you. As I've told you before, as an expert, I'm currently working in a committee which is reviewing the EAC standards, whereby we are going to ensure that the member countries, they are going to produce the products and services which is going to be competent in the EAC. And you asked me, how am I going to protect it? I'm going to protect it as a technical personnel, because I'm a technical personnel. I'm going to convince them that all those things which we are going to discuss there, I'm going to take them. First of all, I'll bring them to this parliament, because I know we have to work hand in hand with this parliament, and also together with my President Magufuli. I'll ask the support, and you'll give me your inputs, and then I'll ensure that the implementation is going to be done.
Mnavunja utaratibu. The second question, honorable member, right behind there. Naomba tusikilizane. Tumtendee haki mgombea, tusikilize.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the chance to ask the question to this young lady, Pamela. Pamela.
Yes.
After seeing your CV, you are quite capable for getting this post. But
please don't clap anything. Let's listen each other, please.
But ensure me, before getting my vote in this house, how are you going to work or to boost the Tanzania economy in EALA?
Remember, were you reading or can you answer the question?
I didn't hear it well on the last two sentences, the last ones.
How are you going to work or to boost our economy in EALA? In EALA.
What?
Economy.
Pamela, how are you going to boost our economy, Tanzanian economy, in the context of the East African Legislative Assembly?
Okay, thank you. Because we are going to ensure Tanzania is one of the countries which is going to produce the better and best quality products and services. we are going to get many markets outside Tanzania within EAC, and we will sell to the highest level and ensure that we are going to bring back the money.
Last question, Honorable Selemani Jafo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Madam Pamela, I would like to know because you talked about the nutritional factors, I would like to know what the success story from Tanzania do you expect to share with your colleague in the ER? The success story from Tanzania, which you do expect maybe to share with the others in the ER.
What success story are you going to carry it with you to the East African Legislative Assembly? Can you respond to that?
Success. Okay. As a stakeholder, I've been practicing many things which are within the agenda of EAC. I have many experiences. I have examples. For example, this year, I have the campaign which is called Make Tanzania Goes Green. This is one of my success. When I'm going to that side, I'm going to push it. We will put something within the area, and I'll come back again to this parliament to give you some hints on how are we going to tackle the issue of ensuring environmental conservation of Tanzania is going to be implemented in a proper way, because we've seen we are lagging behind.
Thank you very much, candidate. Thank you very much. Please, hold on. Order in the House. I'm giving you time to wind up and ask for votes once more, very shortly.
Thank you. Honorable members of Parliament, I'm begging for your votes because I'm an energetic lady. I'm very competent. I have the capabilities. I'm sure that I can convince other members to make sure that all the interests of my country, all the things which will be needed by my country, especially the issue of industrialization, which is being pushed by our president, is going to be implemented in a proper way. I beg you, I'm asking for your all.
Waheshimiwa, tumpe nafasi tumsikie anachosema. Sasa kama hamsikii. Candidate, time is up. You can now leave, please.
Mtazamaji wa Bunge TV, hayo ndiyo yanaendelea katika ukumbi huu wa bunge hapa mjini Dodoma, na kubwa ni wagombea wa ubunge wa Afrika ya Mashariki kupitia chama cha demokrasia na maendeleo ambacho hakikupata washindi kwa siku ya uchaguzi wa kwanza tarehe 4 mwezi wa 4 mwaka huu. Wamerejea tena hapa wakiwa katika idadi tofauti, wako 6, na Pamela Simon Maasai yeye alikuwa ni mgombea wa 5 na amesalia mmoja. Huyu si mwingine anayetarajiwa kuwasili katika ukumbi huu kwa ajili ya kuomba kura. Basi na tumsikilize spika kwanza.
Tanzania sio kwenu peke yenu. Kumbukeni, Watanzania wanataka kujua mwisho wa siku mmechagua watu gani. Kwa hiyo wapeni haki hiyo. Hiyo mtajua wenyewe. Hata kama iko live sasa hivi inaweza kuwa live kesho.
Huyo ni Mheshimiwa Spika wa Bunge la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania Job Ndugai akitoa angalizo la kutoshangilia kwa mujibu wa kanuni za bunge hili, kutoshangilia wakati ambapo mgombea anajieleza, kwani si matakwa ya kikanuni. Anayetarajiwa kuwasili hivi sasa si mwingine bali ni mgombea wa mwisho ambaye ni mgombea wa 6, Salum Mwalimu Juma, na ndiye anayewasili ukumbini tayari kwa ajili ya kunadi sera zake mbele ya bunge hili ndipo bunge liamue nani wawili kati ya hawa 6 watakaowakilisha Tanzania huko kwenye bunge la Jumuiya ya Afrika ya Mashariki.
Salim, you are welcome. Before you are members of this August House, you'll be given 3 minutes to explain why you are here and certainly identify yourself. After that, there might be some questions of which you have to answer. They are not going to be more than 3. I'm now giving you the floor to proceed. Please, you have the time.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I understand the challenge of being the last person to represent yourself in this kind of process. I've seen some person of accountants. I believe being the last one, I'll be the first one to be remembered when people start voting. Honorable Speaker Job Ndugai, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Majaliwa, Kassim Majaliwa, Honorable Leader of Opposition Freeman Aikaeli Mbowe, Honorable Members of the Cabinet, Deputy Speaker, Honorable Members of the Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Salum Walim. I was born in 1979 in Zanzibar. I'm honored to stand before you to humbly request you for your votes as I contest for a seat in the East Africa Legislative Assembly. Honorable Speaker and honorable members of the Parliament, I understand in today's world the regional integration has proved without a reasonable doubt that is a very necessary tool for a country to advance in economical and political interest for its people. The East Africa Community is therefore a call for a Tanzanian. Honorable Speaker and the Right Honorable Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition, if I succeed today to have enough votes from you, I promise you that I will try to work hard to the best of my ability to ensure that we have a meaningful and a strong East Africa community for the interest not only for Tanzania but the interest of the East African community. Honorable Speaker, the members of the Parliament, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, candidate. Now it's time for questions. I've seen you, Honorable Mary Mwanjelwa. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for having an eye on me. The East African Community collapsed 40 years ago. The treaty was signed and ratified a year later. That was in 1999. Now, Mr. Candidate, if you are to be elected today for ELA, what will be your key legacy and patriotism in terms of our countries or East African Community 4 pillars? Thank you.
Can you respond to that question?
Thank you. With your permission, Honorable Speaker, allow me to respond as follows. First of all, I think Honorable Member of Parliament will agree with me. We cannot measure the patriotism of any candidate today this evening. But our history and the background, the experience and the way we have been living and serving this country as boys and girls of this country is very important to measure our patriotism. Honorable Speaker, I served this country over the last 15 years. I started as a journalist, whereby I had an opportunity to travel all over this country, including your constituencies, to raise on socio-economic problem, and in turn to share about the government and the public sector initiative, how to solve, or how to provide solution for their socio-economic problems. But again, I got an opportunity to work with Vodacom Tanzania, whereby you can all be witness of what I am saying here. I had an opportunity to travel to your constituency to share with you how to transform the peoples from your constituencies. And as of now,
when I'm serving in the capacity of a Deputy Secretary General, I have again been traveling all over the country to promote justice, democracy, and civil education to our people. But again, let me assure honorable Member of Parliament that...
Thank you, honorable member, honorable candidate. Thank you very much. Now we are going for the second question. I think we'll have to go for the newest member in the House. Is that Catherine? Yes, okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. And I would like to ask the following question to the candidate. Mr. Salum, you being a senior and an experienced journalist with the knowledge of international trade, what are you going to do to ensure that you make the opportunities available in East African countries known to Tanzanians? Thank you.
Can you respond now to that question?
With your permission, Honorable Speaker, allow me to respond as follows. It is true that I'm a very experienced journalist in this country. And what will I do? I think it is very obvious that I will cooperate with the Minister of International Cooperation and Minister of Information to come up with a very beautiful and attractive sensitization programs through media to make our integration very active and popular in our people. And not only that, but also to promote the opportunity that are available in East Africa to be known by everybody in our country. And for that, I think Honorable Mwakyembe and Honorable Ambassador Mahiga will be ready to receive me and to sit down with me to come up with a very media good strategy in responding with the question. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Sixtus Mapunda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance. Mr. Salim, one of the issues that are affecting cooperation and the common stand in East Africa community is the signing of economic partnership agreement. Can you tell this House your views about the position of our country as a sovereign state based on statism, self-help and survival?
Can you respond to that question, candidate?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It is true that one of the challenges that we are currently facing in East Africa community is the signing of Economic Partnership Agreement, which is known as EPA. But let me say one thing. As a nation, we have to have our own position. It is very true when you look at it as something that can provide a market opportunity for our local producers. But when you look deeply in EPA, you can see that we have to provide or to open access for European markets to about 80% of our markets, and then they will provide the free market to our product. But again, Honorable Speaker and the members of Parliament, this thing is very sensitive, not only for our producers, but even to our sovereignty as a state. I don't think we should run. I completely agree with the position of the government right now. We should not run to sign EPA until when we are sure that the opportunity that we are given by the European country is the opportunity that we are given by the European Union is very fair and will actually ending up supporting our local producers and not otherwise. It is not everything we are offered by Europeans that we definitely accept it.
Thank you very much. Waheshimiwa wabunge, kwanza naongeza muda hadi tutakaporidhika kwamba zoezi hili limekwenda vizuri, kwa hiyo tuendelee kuwa pamoja. Candidate, now I'm giving you the last 2 minutes to wind up your presentation, and then after that we'll ask you to leave. Please, can you proceed?
Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Leader of Opposition, this is Salum Mwalimu. You knew Salum Mwalimu not today. We have been working together, as I said in my initial explanation, that I started as a journalist, whereby I had an opportunity to work with some of you. Again, I had an opportunity to work with Vodacom Tanzania, whereby I had an opportunity to work with you, and now as a politician as well, we are working together. My commitment, passion, integrity, and respect in my country has never been questionable at any point of time in my life. The same Salum Mwalimu, I promise you that I'm going to be your representative as a country, and not from my party, neither from anybody else. When we are crossing the border, we have only President John Pombe Magufuli, and when we are crossing the border, we have only one Prime Minister, Majaliwa Kassim Majaliwa. When we are crossing the border, we have only one leader of opposition from Tanzania, Freeman Aika Elimboe. The role and responsibility of protecting the image and reputation of our country is the role of everybody of us. So I guarantee you, I'm going to be a country representative and not otherwise. I humbly request you for your vote. Please remember Salum Mwalimu while you are voting.
Thank you very much, candidate. I'm asking you now to leave. Please, order. Now you can leave.
Thank you. Huyo alikuwa ni mgombea wa mwisho Salum Mwalimu kati ya wagombea 6 ambao wote wamekwisha fika mbele ya bunge kwa ajili ya kunadi sera zao, na hivi sasa basi anasalimiana na viongozi mbalimbali na kisha aweze kutoa nafasi ya taratibu zingine kufuata. Kitakachofuata hapo bila shaka ni utaratibu wa jinsi ya upigaji wa kura, na mara baada ya upigaji wa kura basi uhesabuji wa kura na kisha matokeo, na hapo basi tutakuwa tunafika tamati. Tusikilize utaratibu kutoka kwa katibu wa bunge ambaye ndio muhusika mkuu wa uchaguzi huu.
Wakati kengele inapigwa, Mheshimiwa Spika, nitaomba walioandaliwa walete masanduku ya kura karibu na meza hii, tutayaonyesha. Naomba maafisa wasaidizi mliopo mkae katika mistari mliopangwa. Wakati zoezi likiendelea, Mheshimiwa Spika, lengo letu ni kupata akidi kwa mujibu wa ibara ya 94 kwamba mkutano huu ni halali kufanya uamuzi. Nitaomba nichukue muda kidogo nielezee karatasi ya kura kwa wenzangu kwenye control room. Naomba wanionyeshe karatasi ya kura ili niweze kutoa maelezo kwa ufupi. Mheshimiwa, mnaona karatasi yangu ya kura inaonekana, ina majina yote 6 yamepangwa kwa utaratibu wa alphabet. Inaanza na Profesa Safari, anakuja Mheshimiwa Wenje, Male Josephine Sebastian, Lawrence Tegomasha, Pamela Simon Masei na Salm Juma Mwalimu. Unachotakiwa kufanya ni kuchagua au unapiga kura mbili. Unapiga kura mbili. Narejea tena, kwa kuweka alama ya vema kwenye kisanduku kilicho sanjari na jina la mgombea. Unapiga kura mbili, hiyo ni tafsiri ya kanuni. Pembeni au sanjari ya jina la kila mgombea. Ukipiga kura 3, kura yako imeharibika. Narejea tena, ukipiga kura 3, kura yako imeharibika. Nadhani nimeelezea kiasi cha kueleweka. Karatasi hii ya kura itapatikana kwenye meza ya bunge. Utaratibu ulioandaliwa ni kwamba tunaanza na meza 2 au mistari miwili. Mstari wa kwanza alikuwa waziri mkuu, wote walioko katika mstari huo watakuja kupiga kura. Mstari wa pili ni wa kiongozi wa upinzani. ni mstari mmoja tu, halafu tutawaeleza utaratibu mwingine wa kufuata. Mheshimiwa Spika, maafisa watakuwa wameandaliwa, watakaa kwenye kila mstari, watawaondoa wabunge kwenye kila mstari kwa utaratibu, watakuja mbele, atapewa karatasi ya kura, atapiga kura. Wapigaji kura watakuwa ni 4 kwa wakati mmoja, na masanduku ya kura yatakuwa yako mezani. Waheshimiwa ambao wana mahitaji maalum, naomba niwataje: Mheshimiwa Ikupa Alex, Mheshimiwa Ali Saleh, Mheshimiwa Amina Molel, Mheshimiwa Riziki Lulida. Watapelekewa makaratasi za kura pale walipo, watapiga kura na watadumbukiza katika masanduku ya kura yatakayokuwa pembeni watakapokuwa wakipiga kura. Mheshimiwa Spika, huo ndio utaratibu ambao umeandaliwa kwa uchaguzi huu. Naomba tuende vizuri na hakika tunaweza kumaliza kama tutakwenda haraka. Tunaomba Mheshimiwa mtulie na mtaongozwa mstari kwa mstari katika kupiga kura. Baada ya kusema hayo, Mheshimiwa Spika, naomba sasa tupate orodha ya akidi iliyoko ndani ili tujue kama mkutano wetu ni halali kuendelea na utaratibu wa uchaguzi. Naomba akidi. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimejulishwa kwamba wabunge mliopo ndani kwa wakati huu mko 280. Akidi inayotakiwa ni 197. Kwa hiyo mkutano huu ni halali kufanya uamuzi. Naomba sasa tufanye zoezi la pili. Tunaomba masanduku ya kura yainuliwe, yaonyeshwe. Kama mjumbe ana wasiwasi na muonekano wa sanduku atuambie, labda kuna kura imemang'ang'ania ndani. Tunaomba masanduku ya kura yaweke katika eneo linalotakiwa, 2 kila upande. Tunaomba maafisa mjipange katika mistari mlioelekezwa. Maafisa mjipange katika mistari mlioelekezwa.
Mheshimiwa Spika, taarifa utaratibu kuhusu taratibu. Mheshimiwa Spika,
na mtafuta anayeongea, maana waliosimama ni wengi. Hebu ongea huko kuliko, nijitambulishe nani.
Mheshimiwa Spika, naitwa Saifu Hamisi Gulamali. Ilikuwa nataka tu kujua utaratibu wa namna ya kupiga kura pale mbele, kwa sababu kama mlivyotoa maelekezo kwamba kura yetu ni siri. Sasa na tunapokuja kupiga kura hapo, kamera hizi zinatuonyesha hapo. Kwa hiyo inakuwa tena si siri, kwa sababu inakuwa inaonekana nampigia nani. Ingelikuwa ningepigia huku, maana yake ingekuwa siri zaidi. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Kuna wakati waheshimiwa wabunge mnapenda kweli kupoteza muda. Hivi hiyo kamera iliyoko hapo juu inakuona hapo zaidi au inaona huyu aliyoko huku zaidi? Nani anayeonekana zaidi kama anapopiga kura kati ya mechi au hawa walioko huku? Hawa walioko huko inaweza kamulika hapo zaidi au huku zaidi?
Mheshimiwa, tuendelee. Endelea Mheshimiwa Spika.
Naomba tuendelee na shughuli. Ningeomba Mheshimiwa, kama huna jambo la lazima sana, tuendelee na utaratibu. Kwani unaogopa ikijulikana na mtu yoyote umempigia fulani, Watanzania watakufanyaje?
Mheshimiwa Spika, tuendelee tu basi.
Lakini niwaombe wapiga kura, watu wa kamera, mnajua discipline ya uchaguzi. Pamoja na kamera ambazo mnaendelea kuchukua picha humu ndani na hatuwazuii, kwa sababu Watanzania lazima waone kitu gani kinachoendelea. Tunachoomba tu msilenge kwenye karatasi ya mpiga kura. Ile ni siri ya mpiga kura. Sasa waheshimiwa wabunge, naomba tusaidiane jambo moja. Wenzetu wa Jumuiya ya Ulaya EU na baadhi ya wabunge vijana wameandaa mchapalo, cocktail party. hapo nje mara tu baada ya shughuli zetu kuisha. Na hapa kidogo shughuli zetu zinaweza kuchukua muda kidogo. Sasa naomba tu mwongozo wenu kwa ujumla wake. Mnaonaje, tuende hadi mwisho au mkishapiga kura, kwa sababu wale wasimamizi watakuwepo, tuahirishe shughuli ili majibu yatolewe kesho?
Ndio. Tuna kwenye mchapalo alafu tunarudi.
Kwa hiyo naomba kuhoji kama ifuatavyo.
Wakahesabu wenyewe leo.
Mheshimiwa Lema.
Mheshimiwa Spika, hizi ni kura ni kura za CHADEMA tu, ni tofauti na zile kura tulizopiga wakati uliopita. Ni kura ambazo hazitachukua lisali moja kuhesabu. Labda useme Mheshimiwa Spika, wale watakotaka kuondoka ondoke, lakini matangazo Mheshimiwa, matangazo leo.
Asante sana. Kwa hiyo tutafanya hivi. Tutapiga kura, tutapata wadhamini, wataenda kuhesabu. Kwa anayejisikia mchapalo anaweza kawaya akaendelea na mchapalo. Wanaotaka kushuhudia waendelee kubaki, na mimi nitakuwepo, na tutatangaza matokeo jioni hii. Kwa hiyo katibu, sasa tuendelee na utaratibu. Nilikuwa na shauri tuanze na zile kura 4 tu. Tuwapate makatibu 4 wapeleke zile kura 4 kwa Ikupa, kwa Alisale, kwa Amina Molel na kwa Riziki Rulida, kura zile 4. Hao 4 wapige kura kwanza, tuzione hizo 4 tu zikirudi. Mgawane mmoja katika wale 4. Asiende mmoja tu, mwende 4 tofauti. Mwende 4 tofauti. Haya, kila mtu atawanyika kwa kila mmoja wao. Masanduku mnapeleka wapi? Hapa masanduku. Zile kura zitaletwa, watu wote wataona kwamba ni kura moja. Msiwasimamie hapo ili muone wanapopiga kura. Kaeni pembeni. Wale mnapeleka kura, kaeni pembeni wapige kura kwa siri.
Mheshimiwa Spika. Swali la uchokozi.
Subiri hapo ukishakunya kura yako. Nimekuona, lakini subiri kidogo. Nimekuona. Na wewe jiunge hapo. Tunamsubiri 4. Yuko wapi? Yuko wapi yule 4? Okay. Jiunge na wenzako pale. Jiunge hapo. Waheshimiwa wabunge, hizi ndio zile kura 4 tulizosema za Mheshimiwa Ikupa Alex, Alisale, Amina Mole na Riziki Rulida. Nadhani mnaniruhusu sasa watumbukize kwa niaba yao, si ndio? Haya, tumbukizeni hapo. Sio lazima kwenye sanduku moja, sanduku lolote tu. Asante sana. Baada ya hapo sana mwachia katibu aendelee na wengine wote. Kabla katibu jaendelee, ulisimama Mheshimiwa.
Mheshimiwa Spika, samahani, nilikuwa naomba baada ya upendeleo kwa watu wenye ulemavu, basi wapewe upendeleo wale kina mama wanaonyonyesha ili wapige kura baada ya wakawahi watoto.
Katibu, tuendelee na utaratibu.
Mheshimiwa Spika, naomba sasa tuanze mstari wa kwanza, mstari wa waziri mkuu. Tunaomba mstari wote mje kupiga kura. Mstari wa kiongozi wa upinzani, tunaomba wote mliosimama pale mje kupiga kura.
Naam, mtazamaji wa Bunge TV, zoezi la upigaji kura limekwisha anza na kama ambavyo imetangazwa, basi wabunge ambao idadi yao iko ndani ni 280, huku kwa mujibu wa ibara ya 94 ya kanuni za bunge ikitaka akidi iwe ni wabunge 197. Hivyo inaonesha idadi kwamba imekidhi, kwani wabunge wamezidi. Wangekuwa 197 ingeanza kuruhusiwa kuanzia hapo, lakini wangekuwa wabunge 196 ama chini ya hapo, akidi ingekuwa haijatimia kwa mujibu wa kanuni za bunge, na idadi ambayo imetangazwa ni wabunge 280. Hivyo akidi imetimia, na ndio maana zoezi linaendelea la upigaji kura. Nilikuwa nikikueleza wasifu toka awali wa wagombea ambao wamefika kwenye bunge hili, na tulianza na mgombea Profesa Safari ambaye nilikuwa nimekueleza sifa zake, na kwa sasa basi hebu nimpishe mwenzangu Zanele Chiza ambaye atatueleza wasifu wa wagombea wengine ambao wamegombea wakati zoezi hili la upigaji kura likiendelea. Zanele.
Naam, Elisha, mgombea mwingine ni Mheshimiwa Ezekiel Wenje ambaye elimu yake ni shahada ya uzamili masters ya usimamizi wa rasilimali watu Chuo Kikuu cha Mzumbe. Ezekiel ana umri wa miaka 39, uraia wake ni Mtanzania, na vitu muhimu vya uzoefu wake ni kwamba yeye ni mwanachama wa CHADEMA, ni mbunge wa jimbo la Nyamagana toka 2010 mpaka 2015. Pia alikuwa meneja wa biashara kampuni ya National Media Group 2008 hadi 2009. Pia alikuwa meneja wa mafunzo ya maendeleo benki ya Barclays Tanzania 2006 hadi 2008. Pia alikuwa mwalimu shule ya sekondari Hillcrest Mwanza 2004 hadi 2005. Ameweza pia kushiriki warsha, mikutano na makongamano mbalimbali ya kisiasa na kitaaluma. Mgombea mwingine ni mwanamama anaitwa Josephine Sebastian Lemayon ambaye elimu yake ni shahada ya uzamili masters ya sayansi shirikishi katika sosiolojia ya Chuo Kikuu Hull, Uingereza. Umri wa huyu mama ni miaka 57 na ni raia wa Tanzania na pia ni mwanachama wa CHADEMA. Ni mratibu wa SNV Portfolio Team North Arusha, Tanzania, ambapo alikuwa hapo toka 2005 hadi 2007. Pia alikuwa mshauri mwandamizi SNV 2007 hadi 2013. Pia alikuwa mshauri mwandamizi wa masuala ya uongozi SNV 2004. Pia alikuwa mratibu wa program DFID 2002 hadi 2004. Pia sasa hivi ni msimamizi wa mradi wa DFID na ni mshauri wa maendeleo ya jamii SNV Monduli kuanzia 95 hadi 2001. Pia ni mshauri wa maendeleo ya jamii mradi wa uhifadhi wa ardhi na maji kwa ufadhili wa ubalozi wa Denmark Iringa, Tanzania. Alianza toka 91 hadi 95. Ni mkufunzi wa taasisi ya elimu ya maendeleo ya jamii CDTI toka mwaka 1983 hadi mwaka 1990. Mshiriki na mshauri katika masuala ya kijamii, maji na matumizi bora ya ardhi kupitia shirika la Danida DFID WASH SNV. Ameshiriki warsha, mikutano na makongamano mbalimbali ya kisiasa na kitaaluma. Ameandika machapisho mbalimbali ya kitaaluma. Mwingine anayegombea ni Lawrence Masha ambaye elimu yake ni shahada ya uzamili masters ya sheria Chuo Kikuu cha Georgetown, Marekani. Lawrence Masha ana umri wa miaka 47, uraia wake ni Mtanzania, ni mwanachama wa CHADEMA, mbia na mwanzilishi wa ubia wa IMMA Advocates, waziri mstaafu wa mambo ya ndani ya nchi. Pia ni mbunge mstaafu wa jimbo la Mwanza mjini, mkurugenzi mtendaji kampuni ya Oxygen Tanzania TOL, wakili wa kujitegemea katika ubia wa Gabriel. tarehe
Kama kweli unataka kujua kuna njia ya kufafanua taifa linavyopiga hatua, uwazi sasa tumepatiwa na taifa kuhusu mapato ya rasilimali ya gesi na madini kila mahali.
TEITI ni taasisi ambayo iko ndani ya serikali inayohusika na mpango wa uhamasishaji wazi katika mapato ya madini, gesi asili na mafuta.
TEITI, sasa kila kitu kiko wazi.